What's going on, guys? It's Tom or Topton Wrestling, and welcome back to another video. I did a poll recently asking what TNA Knockout you want me to talk about next, and you guys voted for Scarlett Bordeaux. We're going to look at her short time in TNA and later on Impact Wrestling, and the sticky situation that ultimately led to her leaving the company. Before we do get into it though, I'm trying to hit 200k subscribers, so please subscribe with notifications on so you never miss a video. It would be very much appreciated, it would mean the world. But also, before we get into it, I'm being joined by a special guest today. I'm not sure who the special guest is, but do you care to introduce yourself?
Well, I said I'd be back. Marky D123 here. Thanks for having me back on your channel again, Tom. It's good to know we've settled our differences and things are nice and calm around here. Last time me and Tom did a collaboration, we reviewed episodes 7 and 8 of the TNA vs WWE Monday Night Wars. If you're a fan of that, come check out my channel, Marky D123. By the weekend, episode 9 should be ready. And my god, is it a crazy one. You missed out there, Tomo.
Cheers, Marky, good to see ya. But Scarlett Bordeaux made her wrestling debut on April 27th, 2012, and she would start wrestling on the independent scene. She acted both as a manager and a wrestler in companies such as Ring of Honor, Chikara, OVW, and more. She would also make appearances in WWE in 2014, where she acted as a member of Adam Rose's Rosebuds, where she claims she appeared as a Rosebud at least 15 times. You'd probably be surprised by just how many Rosebuds would go on to become successful wrestlers. She would also wrestle for WWE in 2016. She was basically just squashed by Nia Jax during that little phase of Nia Jax's first few months on the main roster, where she was just squashing local talent. Scarlett Bordeaux's first and only appearance for TNA was in 2014, appearing on the May 10th, 2014 Knockout and Knockdown one night only event. She fought the TNA Knockouts champion Angelina Love in a qualifying match for the Queen of the Knockouts match taking place later that night, but she sadly lost. She would not make any more appearances after this until 2018, when she officially became a full-time member of the now Impact Wrestling roster. On the July 19th episode of Impact, a vignette would air hyping up the Impact debut of Scarlett Bordeaux for next week. And sure enough, on the July 26th, 2018 episode of Impact, Scarlett Bordeaux officially made her Impact Wrestling debut in an interview segment with Alicia Touts. I have no idea how to pronounce her last name, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll just call her Alicia A. In an interview segment with Alicia A. Scarlett Bordeaux would spend the next many months pretty much as a personality. She wasn't wrestling, managing, commentating. Well, she commentated once, but she wasn't doing anything like that on the regular, and Scarlett Bordeaux began using the nickname of the Smoke Show, and basically her gimmick was that she was hot, and male members of the roster were just in awe of her beauty. She would debut her talk show on the August 16th episode of Impact, appropriately titled The Smoke Show, and we would eventually get all the way to September, where Scarlett still had not wrestled, so Impact was seemingly wanting to save her and build her up some more. And on the September 27th episode of Impact, Scarlett Bordeaux made a blockbuster announcement. She made the announcement that she would be beginning a global talent search, a search to find a lucky man who she would be spending her time with 24/7, managing, helping him get success, helping him win these matches, etc, etc.
Scarlett Bordeaux's talent search would go on for many months, with her being seen backstage with other talents and scouting people during matches, where they would often be distracted because there's an attractive woman on the ramp. And this talent search was open to everyone, by the way, even you, Tom. She would encourage fans to send in videos on social media as to why they think they should be the winner. Scarlett would then review the submissions on TV. It's actually a really dope idea. I love it when wrestling companies involve the fans like this. It's very similar to what AEW did recently, with people applying to be Shawn Spears' tag team partner. On the January the 11th episode of Impact, we saw the most popular Scarlett Bordeaux segment take place. Scarlett Bordeaux came out and announced that next week she would be announcing the winner of her talent search. She was then interrupted by the Desi Hit Squad, who were fans of D'Lo and Chaz during the Attitude Era. They cut her down and said that nobody in the crowd wanted to see her naked, going from 0 to 100 real quick.
This led to Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner coming out. This is a more ambitious crossover event than Infinity War at this point. Steiner beat up the Desi Hit Squad, locked in the recliner, and then Scarlett got on the mic and said, while she loves violence, she's here to put on a show for the people, and said that if Steiner wanted the front row seat, all he had to do was ask. And she then proceeded to, and I don't know how to say this without getting demonetized, she undressed into her underwear and performed a little dance for Big Papa Pump and the people. Holla if you hear me. The segment currently sits at 1.8 million views on YouTube, which is a really good number for Impact to be getting on YouTube nowadays. The next week on Impact, Scarlett Bordeaux would officially reveal the winner of her talent search contest, and the winner was herself. What? Now, I was conflicted on this, because on one hand, you've just done a multi-month angle all for this to be the payoff. But at the end of the day, Scarlett Bordeaux proved herself to be a draw, and she's very good in the ring, so why should she be managing someone? She may as well wrestle because she's really good. But yeah, they realistically didn't need to do this multi-month angle. But then again, it gave us that Steiner segment, and holla if you hear me, so I'll allow it. On the March 8th episode of Impact, Scarlett Bordeaux revealed who she would be facing in her debut match. Finally, and she revealed that she would be facing Glenn Gilberti, aka Disco Inferno, in an intergender match, which is such a crazy sentence. And 3 weeks later, the two would face off, and Scarlett would defeat Glenn Gilberti in an alright match. It was okay. In April, she would begin teaming with Fowler Bar, and the two found themselves in a feud with the Desi Hit Squad. This would lead to the pay-per-view Rebellion on the 28th of April, where Scarlett Bordeaux would make her Impact pay-per-view debut and defeat Rohit Raju of the Desi Hit Squad with Fowler Bar by her side. Scarlett Bordeaux and Fowler Bar were a very entertaining team, and they would then enter into a small program with OVE, which saw Sami Callihan, that disgusting heel, spit on Scarlett after a match between him and Bar, which Callihan won. This would lead to a tag match on June 7th, where Scarlett and Fowler teamed up to face Jake and Dave Christ of OVE in a losing effort after they cheated to win.
As it turned out, this would be Scarlett's last ever match in the company, as she was released 11 days after the match aired. What? Turns out on May the 13th, Scarlett actually requested her release from the company. The reason stems from a contract dispute between Impact Wrestling and Scarlett's boyfriend, Killer Kross. Double K had requested his release just days before Scarlett Bordeaux did, and was denied. Killer Kross cited his reasons for requesting his release in an interview with the Wrestling Perspective podcast. "I've never asked, in my opinion, for anything that I didn't think I deserved. I didn't think I would be asking for anything I couldn't contribute back. I was led to believe that it was not available. If you want to get a job and you're told that something you're looking for is not available, and then you come out to find 6 months later that it's not true, it has been available and other people have it. You can imagine that you would be a little bit disparaged, my petal." Basically, Killer Kross wanted a higher pay because he now had family to take care of, and Impact denied him it. Kross also went on to say that Impact told him to get another job if he wanted to get paid more. Hence the name Killer Kross. Whilst Kross also having disputes with the company probably played a big part in her wanting to leave, Scarlett too was having problems with pay. Supposedly, despite being one of Impact's most prominent and highest drawing characters on the last year, Scarlett was getting paid so little that she had to move back in with her mother and get a job on the side. Which is insane. Luckily, Scarlett would get released less than a month later after her request, but Kross wouldn't be released for another 6 months.
Luckily though, Kross would be released from Impact, and during this time, Scarlett would attend a tryout for WWE, and she was signed to the WWE, and 2 months later in February 2020, Kross was announced to have signed with the WWE, and the two will officially be making their debuts this week on NXT, after being seen in segments backstage and outside the arena. It seems they're being treated as two of the brand's top heels, so I'm very intrigued to see what they do.
Alright Tom, I want to thank you for having me on your channel yet again, brother. I really do appreciate it. You're always welcome to come over to my channel whenever you need some extra room. And to all Tom's fans out there, Tom's got a secret. He secretly has a favourite wrestler, but he hasn't done a video on it yet because he's not sure how you'll react. Tom's favourite wrestler is Orlando Jordan. If you want to see Tom make a video on his favourite wrestler, leave it in the comments section down below. I'm Marky D123, you've been listening to me.
So yes, that was the career of Scarlett Bordeaux in Impact, where it all went wrong with a contractual dispute with Impact, and how Impact really lost one of the most exciting and best characters in the last year or two for Impact. It's a real shame that she had to go. I mean, if she's one of my favourite Impact knockouts, probably of all time, in the short time she was there. She was just really entertaining and really good. But yeah, that's been it from me. Big ups to Marky. Thank you to Marky for coming on here. Be sure to check out his channel, linked in the description. He makes really good TNA content, and I know he's trying to hit like 10k subscribers, so help him get there, he deserves it. And yeah, I'll see you all soon. Follow me on Twitter at Top10Wrestling. My Instagram is at I'mTomBell. Check me out on Patreon, patreon.com/Top10Wrestling. All of this is linked in the description below. I'll see you all soon. Goodbye, and keep on rolling.